Hi, Anna, can you hear me?
And 1 second, I'm just going to fix it. There we go. Welcome, everyone. We are live on the Innovation Showcase, where this is very exciting. I'm going to bring on Chris and Anna. I think. Hi, Chris. Hi, Anna. How are you doing?
All good, thank you. Good to see you.
Great.
You can hear me now, right?
We can hear you, and we're live, so everyone else can hear and see you as well. So that's great.
Hi, everyone.
So we'll give it a few minutes because I think we're still waiting on 1 or 2 people. Oh, we have Richard here joining us. Perfect. Hi, Richard. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Richard. Nice to see you again.
Hi. Emma, could I just try very quickly the YouTube share just to make sure that's going to work?
No, because we are live, so everyone will be able to see it. So I think we save it until the end, and hopefully it works. If not, we can maybe paste the URL in the chat. I just don't want to spoil it because it's, I don't want to spoil anyone's presentations. We have some great presentations coming up. So yeah, but I have.
I'll sit in anticipation then.
That's what we want. Yes, the anticipation. Yeah. So we still have about 3 minutes, so it's fine. But just conscious that some people might be listening in and dialing in now. So we'll just wait. And I think all we're waiting for is we're waiting for Charlotte and Freddie. But I think it should be fine. We'll get started. And if any of you don't want to be on screen, you don't have to be. You can leave and watch from the audience. If you're not speaking, maybe that's kind of the best option, is you just watch from the audience. So feel free to just press the leave button, and we'll just go back to the audience, and then we can watch from there, just so that we don't have 1,000 faces on the screen. But I think it should be fine.
On our end, Andrew should also join very shortly. So I'm just checking whether he's having any issues.
No, I see him in the audience, but I don't think if he's not speaking, as I just said, I don't think we need to have everyone on the stage. So,
great. And
if Chris is speaking on your behalf, then maybe we'll ask you to go to the audience just so that we don't have too many people.
That's perfect.
On the screen. Perfect.
Sounds good. I'll go there then.
Okay, great.
Speak to you later.
Yeah. And then here's Freddie. So we'll bring Freddie. We'll do a swap 1 for 1.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Freddie. Welcome to the stage. We are live and just giving everyone the last couple moments to get back from lunch, because we did say 12:30 is the start time. But yeah, we'll go. So we're very excited for this session. I cannot wait. These innovation showcases are my favorite part of the day. I've already done 1. This is number 2, and I cannot wait for it. It's always great to see everyone's tech, hear your pitches, and share all the amazing things that you're doing with the world. So it's very, very exciting. So we'll just give it a little bit more time, just so that, yeah, we're just waiting. Okay, well, it's 12:30 now. I see we have a number of people in the audience. So I think what we'll do is we'll get started, and I'll start my spiel, and then I'll pass it over to you. So everyone, good afternoon. I was about to say good morning. It is not morning anymore. Good afternoon, and welcome to our second Innovation Showcase of the day. And in these innovation showcases, if you didn't make it to our first one, well, you're in for a treat. They're super fun. We get to hear some amazing tech from some amazing companies who are with me on the stage, and I'll introduce them shortly. But what we're going to do is listen to some of the innovations that are coming out of our TRIG accessibility cohort. So for those who don't know what a TRIG is, completely understandable. It's kind of a weird word, but once you get it, you're never going to forget it. So it's a Transport Research and Innovation Grant. And they are delivered in partnership between Connected Places Catapult and the Department for Transport. So speaking of Connected Places Catapult, my name is Emma. Sorry, I rudely didn't introduce my own self. But my name's Emma, and I am a SMA Development Manager here at the Catapult. And so what I do is I support all of these lovely companies in their TRIG programs. And so today, as I said, we're listening to the TRIG accessibility cohort in this session. So this will be a wonderful one. And so the TRIG accessibility cohort is a really, really interesting cohort. So earlier today, we heard just the normal TRIG being launched, but this one is a bit more tailored, a bit more specific. And what this TRIG was designed to do is to enable small businesses to develop technologies that kind of make our transport systems more inclusive, remove barriers that prevent disabled passengers from traveling confidently, safely, and with ease. So really everything that we like to see about the transport system, making it inclusive and accessible for everyone. Within this program, each company was awarded an amount of money, part of an open call to deliver their highly innovative tech. And this will just help form a stepping stone towards advancing promising new products and services that have the potential to significantly improve access to the transportation services and are kind of giving passengers confidence. I'm probably doing a horrible job explaining it. You guys know this way better than I do, and I know we'll hear it in the pitches. But just a few quick Q&A and housekeeping things. So for those who've just joined us, obviously, welcome to the Transport Innovation Expo. For those who are watching the audience, you do not need to join the stage. You can sit there and watch and ask your questions in the chat or the Q&A, and we'll field those to the speakers. So we have our 4 speakers here with us today. If you have any questions, as I said, do it that way, or please follow up with any of the individuals on the screen individually. You can do that under the People tab on the right-hand side of your screen as well, or they all have Expo booths. So if you go to the Expo booth on the left-hand side of the screen, you can go and learn more about their companies there. So without further ado, because you didn't come here to listen to me talk, you came here to listen to them talk. So what I'm going to do is introduce our 4 companies. We have SiteCall, Bright Yellow, USmartThing, and Chrome Angel Solutions all with us today. But what I'm going to do is start with Richard from SiteCall, and I'm going to ask him to share his pitch. And Richard, over to you.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Well, it is great to be here today, so thanks for the opportunity. Hopefully you will be seeing a slide deck up in front of you. And we're here to talk about Travel Assist. So when we started working with the guys in TRIG, specifically on the TRIG accessibility, we wanted to look at what the key challenges were for travellers with disabilities. And there was a few of those that we teased out as we went through some of our focus groups. A lack of spontaneity in using public transport, and a lot of that was based around the need for potentially having physical support as you were travelling. And that also led to a level of anxiety. So, anxious about whether you're going to be able to get the assistance you need if you run into a problem along the length of your journey. And ultimately that led to a reduction in the use of public transport. So we worked with the guys at USmartThing, using some of their technology, their existing technology around their travel assistance capabilities, and also in partnership with the teams at Transport for Greater Manchester to identify a specific need for this kind of immediate support and assistance on for a disabled passenger travelling across the public networks. I've got a little video here which is going to show you how our technology works, but I'll give you an overview of exactly what we're seeing here. So You see from the Travel Assist app, a passenger can put in their specific requirements for an A to B journey. If they run into problems, they select a request for live assistance, and that then comes through to the team at Transport for Greater Manchester. So this is an existing team. They already support passengers across their network through standard, phone, etc. as they're going through. But this is a collection of experts who are there on hand to support people on their journey. So at any point during that journey, using the Travel Assist app, you could have already put in requirements that you have specifically based around your needs to get from A to B. And if you run into a problem, you get this kind of on-demand ad hoc support that you would normally struggle to get across the network. So this could be anything from a challenge at a particularly busy interchange. This is Manchester Piccadilly in this example, which having been through there about 2 weeks ago, I can tell you is not straightforward. But ultimately, it can be guiding you specifically with your requirements for something like step-free access, for example. And in this case, we're looking to get through to the National Rail. You'll see there, we have a live feed directly from the passenger's back camera. We could be talking to the passengers they're running through. We can put symbols on the screen to guide them. And at the moment, we're looking to move through to the departures board to see exactly which location they're trying to get to. The expert already knows the route they're trying to take, so they know where they're trying to get to at the end destination. They can guide the passenger to that location and then help them on their onward journey as they run through. Now, the reality is that it could be that they do need some special assistance. It could be something that a lift is out of order, for example, and actually the experts on hand there at the contact desk could contact the station to get physical support if needed. However, in a lot of cases, it's simply a case of validating what the decisions that they want to make are. So is it a case of I need to use a different exit? Am I on the right platform? And ultimately just giving an underlying level of confidence and reassurance to that passenger so that they feel comfortable to carry on and complete their journey. And that's one of the key aspects of this technology as we go through. Now, at the moment, we're piloting this with users of concessionary passes across the Transport for Greater Manchester network. We're taking a lot of feedback from specific focus groups who specialise in this area and charities who work in this area so that we can start to develop and hone this technology. But ultimately, what we're looking to do is expand this across the entire Transport for Greater Manchester network and also wider, so that we can provide that level of ad hoc support. You can see here now we've been able to guide that passenger through to their end destination so that they can complete their journey. The key result from our perspective is around passenger empowerment. So it's enabling passengers with disabilities or hidden disabilities to travel in confidence without having to pre-book travel. It gives them that level of spontaneity so they can start to enjoy the benefits of using public transport, both for their work and their leisure. And that is me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Richard. So interesting to hear your tech. I mean, I know it well. I hear it quite often and see all the updates, but great for you to share that with our audience today. As a reminder, if you have questions, please put them in the chat or put them in the Q&A and we can ask the audience ask the speakers, or you can connect with them after. But I know that we have 3 other companies to hear from today. So next, I would like to welcome Freddie from Bright Yellow. So Freddie, your turn.
Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
You can indeed, yeah.
Yep. Start the presentation. We're good to go.
Okay. I'm Freddie Nanyelu, founder and tech lead at Bright Yellow. I'm a serial tech entrepreneur. In the last 7 years, I've led several Innovate UK R&D projects in 3D cloud computing and remote care monitoring. Brightware XR is our connected passenger guidance system for all, and is built on the technology ecosystem that we have developed over the last few years. Our goal is to transform the way the disabled experience stations through ultra-precision wearable sensors and mixed virtual and augmented reality applications. We started out in the Wi-Fi business, building the first city-scale Wi-Fi mesh network in the UK. But that's when we saw the problems users we're having with mobility and navigation inside buildings, like train stations. So we set out to solve this problem, and quickly we realized that the future was in augmented and virtual reality with precise location, mixed reality, giving people a real-time view of what's inside buildings, something that Google Maps can't do, that we can do. In 2019, we had a life-changing conversation during customer discovery interviews with Transport for Wales. We found that for disabled passengers, it is a nightmare getting on public transport because they can't see what's inside stations. It is really difficult for them to plan their journeys. And for a lot of them, they don't do it. UK Rail Survey 2019 found that 6.2% of the population don't use rail. That's 4 million people. They don't feel comfortable getting on a train station. Meet Sean, a single mum with 2 small children, living in Shrewsbury, and Andrea, Sean's mum, age 71, with arthritis in both knees. They want to visit Sean's brother David in Pontypridd, going via Cardiff. Andrea is worried. She's anxious about climbing the stairs and pulling her luggage. She's also worried. Sean is also worried how she's going to manage the children and the buggy and the stairs alone. She thinks they should drive, and that's the pain. Now, this is our product. It is mixed reality for people in a way they've never had before, with insights before they go to choose the best time to travel for crowding. And then it's a virtual reality guide for actually planning the journey. So they can see actually what's inside and do a dry run for the journey. They can check for accessible routes. And then it's an augmented reality guide for when they're actually going. Navigating through a station with voice and haptic feedback. This is coming into the station, goes all the way through. With haptic feedback for those that can't hear well. There's a smart wearable for extra help for the most vulnerable who need remote assistance. For everybody, real-time insights on crowding for operators and for passengers to help them avoid overcrowding post-COVID-19. Imagine that for the 10 million people that are registered disabled, who cannot simply have access like people who are not able, who are not disabled. That's why we're looking to roll this out across the UK's 2,500 stations, starting at Shrewsbury, Cardiff, and Newport. Our dream is to be live and available and to be used by every single transport network in the UK. So that much like if you've booked the train ticket, you usually use Trainline because it just works. This just works, helping us take the fear out of travel for disabled people so they can face the reality of what they need to do to get from A to B. So we're making it as equal as possible for people with disabilities to access public transport, like people with no disabilities. This is hard to do, but we know we can do it. We're raising $1 million. Let's go.
Great, Freddie. Thank you so much for that. So everyone heard it here first. Raising $1 million. Get in now. I think all of these texts are, what we need to make the transport system more accessible, more inclusive, and I'm just always in awe of what you guys are creating and what you have created. I mean, the Trig accessibility, we're a small fraction of these million great ideas that you guys have and helping you bring it to life. So, that was just wonderful. Wonderful to always see it. I love the demos, the videos, the pitches. So thank you so much, Freddie. Again, for those in the audience, please connect, talk to Freddie. He's looking for £1 million. I'm sure some other people here on the line are also looking for some money. So if you're an investor, please reach out. Even if you know one, this is something you don't want to not be part of. So next up, we have Chris from USmartThing. And Chris, just make sure you're unmuted. There we go. We're good to go. And now, Chris, over to you.
Thanks very much, Emma. Thanks to Catapult and DFT for hosting this and all your support during the project. Richard, I think we have the same design partner, it seems, and I'm excited to hear the previous 2 pitches because I think what we'll show you now is how we've applied some of those technologies on our platform. So as a business, USmartThing enhance visitor experience and increase our clients' revenues by guiding people to venues and events, specifically what we call the smart way. And for us, the smart way means personalized, sustainable, and accessible. And I'm going to focus on the accessible part of our platform. So Travelability was the title of our project, developed in partnership with uSmartThing, Transport for Wales, Transport for West Midlands, and Goss Consultancy, who are leading accessibility and inclusion consultants, and indeed Greater Manchester. And didn't get your logo in time, Richard, but we partnered with Sitecall on the Greater Manchester deployment, which I'll talk a little bit about. But just to introduce you to some of the characters that trialed the technology that we developed. So Tanvi, over on the left-hand side of the screen, as you can see, is a wheelchair user. Roger, in the middle there, is profoundly deaf. I don't know if you can see what it says on his face mask. I need to lip read, which I find slightly ironic. And then over on the right-hand side, we have Vijay and Mohammed, both visually impaired passengers. So these guys trialed our system. Like many of us, Tanvi, Roger, Vijay and Mohammed all struggle with multimodal journeys. I'm not going to go over the industry statistics because you've heard them and are familiar, but certainly the complexity of journey planning, disconnected assistance services, and really patchy B2B and B2C communications, leaving people unsure about what they should be doing when, are all key features that make travelling a very anxious and disparate experience for disabled people. So we enabled them to tailor our travel assistance service to their specific needs. Our platform is live and in use across multiple venues and events. And on the screen now, you can see some work that we're doing, a deployment for the Commonwealth Games coming up next year. You can see that a travel plan is being created to Arena Birmingham. And so this is our sort of off-the-shelf service that you can see here. With the ATRIG funding, we were able to develop a whole accessibility module here, allowing people to define their travel profile and request specifically step-free access or notify us if they have a guide dog with us, for example, and also to nominate an assistance contact, which I'll tell you a little bit more about on the next screen. So the key feature that we developed was the ability for people using our platform, if required, to share their travel plan and to book or request assistance whilst en route from a multitude of different operators. So a nominated assistance contact, which could be a friend or family, or indeed could be a carer, a connected transport operator. So connecting transport operators to our system is a key activity of ours. For this pilot, we actually booked passenger assistance on the rail network, and then we manually entered that in using Rail Delivery Group's Passenger Assist app. We're looking to integrate more deeply with that system such that it can be automated directly from the venue. We allowed people to request assistance from the venue that they were visiting, so the concierge service there. And thanks to Sitecall, we also introduced that capability for somebody to request assistance from a call center operator and actually share the view from their camera such that somebody could guide them from A to B. Richard, we think there's a great application for frontline staff on the station as well to be able to guide people even when they're just not next to the specific customer. So Tanvi, Roger, Vijay, Mohammed, and a whole panel of people from our experienced reality panel validated the system and its benefits. 87% said it's important to have door-to-door travel planning with the capability to request assistance. And that was obviously across multiple transport operators. 70% said we were more confident undertaking multimodal journeys using the uSmartThing travel assistant. Thank you very much. If you'd like to get in touch with us, please do say hello. The email is hello@usmartthing.com. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Chris. Great to see what you're doing and kind of building off of your existing products and making people events and traveling and multimodal travel to events just so possible and accessible. That's just, it's wonderful to see. And it's just another amazing output from this TRIG accessibility cohort. So yeah, wow. I mean, I'm always blown away, as I keep saying through all of this. It's just quite impressive. So now we'll go to our last speaker of the day. Last but not least, we have Mark from Chrome Angel Solutions. So Mark, we'll pass over to you. Chris, I'm just going to ask that you stop sharing your screen, and then we'll pass it over to Mark. There we go. So Mark, the show is yours.
Brilliant. Thank you, Emma. So yeah, awesome having seen those demonstrations. And one of the things that's really stuck out to me in that is the sort of the synergy between them. I can see huge overlaps between what we've done and almost a kind of a flip of some of them. So yeah, really, really fantastic stuff. So Chrome Angel Solutions, we're a small company founded about 15 years ago. We're railway engineers. We spent all our lives building things and implementing new technology, trying to make it work in railways. And we started with the simple idea that there's really fabulous technology in other industries, but it's quite difficult to bring it into rail and make it work. And so that's what we chose to specialize in. And we spent the last 15 years building partnerships and trying to bring new technology to railways. So this project is a fabulous example of that. And the technology partner we've been working with for over 3 years now is Totem Learning, and they're specialists in digital learning, building immersive interactive experiences. So this stuff is much easier to show than to explain. So I'm just going to share with you a brief video now that shows you what we've built. Hopefully that all came through okay, Emma.
I think so, but we can also share the link and make sure people have it if they want to kind of watch it afterwards if they missed it. But looked good to me. So back to you, Mark.
Fantastic, thank you. That's caused me a lot of anxiety, that has, getting that shown. So hopefully you can switch over to the presentation now. Great. So as you can see, our idea was all around serious games technology. We think this technology has huge potential for transport. Serious games are like all games, deeply immersive, deeply interactive, fantastic way for engaging people. We all learn a lot through games. And we were able to do this through a really powerful partnership. So Totem I've already introduced. Angel Trains spotted the potential of this technology when we took it to them, and they've been collaborating with us to do a whole bunch of experiments on how we can apply it to railways, which led us to Northern and the Accessible Travel team there, who instantly saw the potential for helping disabled passengers to travel better, and also to Community Rail Lancashire, who work in communities helping people to travel on trains, and particularly with education outreach. And the potential for games to engage young people is clearly enormous. So the idea was to build a virtual reality simulation. The challenge is to take a journey to get to your destination and to overcome all of the challenges that are in that. It's about something that can be available on passengers' devices, so on your phone, on your tablet, on your desktop PC. You can even put your phone in a low-cost VR headset and have an immersive experience if you want to. And it's all about building confidence to travel. We think this is a genuine first of a kind. So certainly in the rail industry, we cannot find any example of anyone using this technology in this way to engage passengers at scale in terms of helping them to understand how to travel. We can't actually find any examples in other industries of it being used in quite this way. So we think this is really quite special. And really genuinely only possible through this Trig accessibility competition. I can't imagine anyone in the rail industry having ever put a business case together to help us build a game to help passengers travel. So I think this is a really good example of where innovation funding gets things off the ground that otherwise wouldn't happen. We've heard lots in the previous presentations around anxiety and stress. The Fair Travel Report surveyed a lot of people. 4 out of 5 disabled people said they felt some level of anxiety or stress. This affects a lot of people, over 14 million disabled people in the UK, 700,000 autistic children and adults who have 3 million family members. And as one of those family members, I know this only too well. Anxiety and stress are certainly words that I can associate with travel. So the goal is about giving people better information. It's about helping them to develop experience and familiarity. So this idea that you could sit at home and play a simulation game on your phone or your PC, take the journey as many times as you like, make mistakes, see what could go wrong, build an idea in your head as to how you will deal with things that are making you anxious and sort of play those scenarios out. And that's one of the wonderful things about games and simulations is you can experience things safely that you wouldn't really want to experience in real life, but might be worrying you. A big thing around setting clear expectations of rights, support and service from staff. So we spent a lot of time talking to users in this project from the Northern Accessible User Group and from the community focus groups. We've run workshops. We've got a panel of 30 people with a whole range of accessibility needs who have become really enthused with this project and have spent a lot of time talking to us. And actually being confident to stand up for your rights and know what's supposed to be happening so that when it's not happening, you can feel confident to challenge that. That's a really big thing about building confidence and reassuring people. We also think there's huge potential for promoting awareness and empathy from staff and fellow passengers. And so many times in the user focus groups, we heard that those are the really big problems, the attitudes of other people who don't really understand the challenges. And one of our users, when they saw the latest demo, said that this should become mandatory for all railway staff to play this simulation as part of their induction so that they kind of understand the world around them. So that's where we've got to. We've built what we think is an incredible interactive simulated railway journey. We've got the end-to-end journey from starting at a big station all the way through to getting off at a small station. We've built 2 of the core characters with key accessibility challenges. So we have a powered wheelchair user and an autistic traveller. And we think those provide a good example of how this could be built out. But we've also got at least 12 other characters that we would like to build to represent as broad a range of accessibility needs as possible. We're currently testing with the user groups. We're going in fine detail through the experience and trying to get that as right as possible. Our goal is to build a production demonstrator that we hope Northern will feel confident enough to actually put out into the public domain and invite people to test for real. Beyond that, what we'd love to do is build support to continue the development. We feel like we've barely started. There's so much we could do with this, so many characters, so many levels of the experience that we could build into it if we had the time. So we'd like to create challenge levels where, having experienced what a good journey is supposed to look like, you can then simulate problems like delays and things not working and work out how to overcome those. And we'd really like to talk to other transport modes. So railways are often about connecting with other transport modes, going into airports being an obvious example. We'd love to think about how we could expand that journey to talk about how you change between those modes of transport. So that's what we're doing. It's been an awesome project, I have to say, one of the best of my career. It's been a fantastic thing and the partnership has been wonderful. So thank you very much. Great.
Thanks, Mark. I mean, amazing video, amazing game. I myself cannot wait to try it. I know I've kind of seen it in use a few times, but we have a question actually from Chris for you that we can ask quickly. He just wanted to know, how scalable is your service and what's the time to create for a large station or interchange or venue?
So at the moment, we made a really conscious design decision to not try to make this specific to any particular journey. So we're not trying to simulate a specific journey and how to get through that. This is about the overall experience and process of traveling. Imagining someone who's never been on a train before, never been to a station, and can't really conceive of that process. We actually think there are better technologies. If you really want to understand navigating the specific station, we've actually seen some of them today. There's actually brilliant technologies already for that. So we're trying to get much more into the emotional experience of travel, and the idea that if you're a mother with 2 autistic children and they've got different, one of them in a wheelchair, we've got one, that's someone on our user group. The idea that those children could play the simulation many times before going on that journey to be comfortable in their head how it's going to work. But in terms of scalability, it's brilliant. It's in the app stores. It can scale very quickly. We can reach a lot of people if they're interested in this.
Thank you, Mark. That's really helpful to understand where your focus is there.
Yeah, perfect. Well, we have run out of time. It's crazy how fast half hour goes when you're having fun and listening to kind of 4 amazing technologies and pitches. I think you've all kind of touching on and doing amazing things, making our transport system more inclusive, more accessible, giving the passengers the confidence they need to kind of take the journey. So I think all in all, I mean, what we've seen today is just, it is changing the game. You are all game changers, and thank you so much for being part of the Trig Accessibility Cohort. We are so proud, as I said, to support all of you on your journeys, and it's amazing. So as I've said multiple times, for those in the audience, please connect. Go find Mark, Chris, Freddie, Richard, go find them, connect with them, go to their expo booths, learn more about what they're doing. This is why we're doing this expo today, is really to kind of give a stage to those who are doing so many amazing things, really at the fore of changing the game for everyone. So we have that. So please go network, go connect. We will have one last final innovation showcase, which will be in half an hour, I believe, if my timing is correct. And it'll be for the Trig drones cohort. So one last showcase today, but please connect. We're really excited to have everyone here with us and be involved. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So Mark, Chris, Richard, Freddie, thank you so much for joining me today. I am honored to have listened and been on stage with all of you. I know you all go on to do big and amazing things once the Trig accessibility wraps up at the end of November. But yeah, absolutely honored to be part of your journey. And yeah, thank you again.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.